Ladies and gentlemen, I am Pikmin Master 123, and today we are going to talk about the fall of GunsUp, one of my honestly top 10 favorite strategy games of all time, and how right now all the servers are completely gone, the entire game is shut down, no one can play it, and not even a group such as Stop Killing Games could bring it back because it is already too late, it's already gone. Now, a long time ago, they already decided that they will not let players host their own servers, and they would not let players play the single player modes that work against normal AI units that's already in the game. And on top of that, we're going to just talk about the main reason it died, Guns Up Mobile, and the reason why they kicked off all the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC players. And we're just going to talk a little bit about this. You might have guessed it, but Guns Up Mobile is more of a pay-to-win hellscape than Guns Up. Not only is the random chance of getting things gone, but there's a lot of stuff that they changed. For example, no more card system. Instead, you don't have any more card packs, cards, or this nice inventory that you have in the normal game. You can't even add stuff together to get a new quote-unquote card or item. No, instead you have Clash Royale chess systems to give you cards, and they aren't even guaranteed to the same card at their level. On top of that, there aren't cards anymore that you're actually getting. There are now 4 general currencies in the game, on top of your leveling rewards. That's right, leveling doesn't actually give you normal items anymore, it gives you a little bit of currency and random sub-currencies. Sub-currencies are used to upgrade infantry. That's right, no more cards. Instead, there's armor items, whatever those are, which don't even work the same way as cards, and ways to upgrade infantry that upgrade their classifications, which, it's a smart idea, except when you look at it, infantry and other units are run off of a sub-currency that you can also pay money to get. So really what they done here is they made even more ways of using quote-unquote randomness, or shall we say gambling, because that's technically what this is, it doesn't even matter, but it's always random, which is the good thing about the original game. Well, not necessarily anymore, because you can pay more resources to get specific items that you need, and what they did is they made it so that there are all these sub-currencies that you can pay more money to actually get all of them faster, get an edge in the beginning, but then suddenly, oh wait, there's a new unit unlocked, so you have to pay for even more sub-currencies. And it keeps on going and going and going, allowing for more quote-unquote pay to win if you want to actually do anything in the game. On top of that, they also changed the currency system. So now, gold and munitions are both non-premium currencies. Gold is used for improving buildings and generally for base defense, while munitions are used to improve your troops. However, they decide to add some more things. For example, now you have quite literally gems. That's right, the classic everywhere in mobile pay to win games gems are back. And on top of that, the mobile building time. That's right, every building in this game now has upgradable building times and upgrade times, and all these time-based systems that want to make you spend more gems to clear them up. For example, you want to open up the chest? Oh wait, you gotta wait a whole day. You want to upgrade this building X amount of times? Well, at a certain level, it'll take multiple days to upgrade it. And that's not even including infantry upgrades, which also take time. And then, the reason why you're producing munitions and gold is now you can capture both from enemy teams. However, you can't actually do that as much, because now you have a whole new currency called fuel, which is used to use vehicles in the game to attack people. And vehicles can be upgraded using other sub-premium currencies. That's right, you can upgrade them using real money to make your boosts even better. The footage you've been seeing is gameplay footage of the original Guns Up, and what you're about to see is some of the footage from the card system. Okay, engineer. we can upgrade this to its final level, max tier rapid deployment, perk level 6. This is the complete max, can't go any farther than this. Okay, so without this, it takes 38 seconds for them to pop out. With this, however, 26. The reason I introduced this clip is to give a baseline of the original GunsUp game to compare to what they have done to it in GunsUp Mobile. In the original GunsUp, a majority of your units were locked behind a specific level. Once you reached that level, you could buy that unit permanently with some munitions. The rest of the units that aren't unlocked this way are unlocked through card packs, which there was a type of chest in this game. However, it worked like a special card pack. You would have to collect keys by attacking enemy players' bases, and to even get this special chest, you would have to attack other people's bases. These chests were rare drops for everyone, pay to win or not pay to win. You couldn't get these chests a different way besides actually playing the game. Now you could open them with gold instead of these keys, which the keys did take a decent amount of time to get, but still, it was not available by just paying to win. You had to play the game to get the chest in the first place, and it was very accessible, and you could get a lot of these special units specifically from these chests. Now in the new Guns Up, they have a completely different system, and we'll go through it right here. So the entirety of the card system was just completely removed. Absolutely everything was removed from it, and now replaced with a completely different system. One dealing all in crates, or shall we say, chests. The easiest way of describing this new system is Clash Royale card packs. Yep, basically to even unlock the unit, you would have to get X amount of that unit. Some of them unlocks in only getting the unit one time. On top of that, if you get the unit multiple times, then you add to your skill tree, where you would have to unlock the unit X amount of times to upgrade the skill using X amount of unit unlocks, or skill points. And to answer some questions, yes, upgrading your primary base in GunsUp Mobile will give you a free 1 unit unlock for some of these units. However, you could also get them from chests. And I don't know if it's possible, but I'm pretty sure you could go around the entire system completely, open up a chest, and get that unit before you actually upgrade your command center. And now, technically, you have 2 command centers because they changed around the things. So this forward base in the original games now defensive building that actually doesn't fire back. And we'll talk about what they did to absolutely ruin this game very soon. But back to the card systems. Yes, very fun stuff. So in old Guns Up, you would have these medals, which are done by getting very hefty achievements and playing the game for a long time. Well, now that was replaced by the skill tree, which has those same boosts for those different types of units at a higher percentage, and they are very significant at high levels. Extremely significant. Like, they completely ruined the whole system and made it so that pay to winners can instantly get the max level skills if they really want to. Now, we're not talking about the new vehicles added to the game that were supposed to be in GunsUp 1 but got moved into GunsUp Mobile because they decided to do a bunch of dumb stuff. What we're going to talk about first is the card system, which right here you can see its main attribute, the card recycler. Take any 3 cards that aren't very usable that you don't really need, and you can put them all together for a chance to getting slightly better, the same tier, or sometimes slightly worse if you put good items with bad items together. But this was a decent system. It let you move stuff around, change a bunch of stuff, and they got rid of all of it because they changed the game completely and they ruined it. Now, instead of normal cards to boost your units, now you have items, such as a scope to a gun to make you aim better, tipped bullets that make you deal more damage, and some other stuff. One of the items, which is probably the most broken and significant, allows a random chance of adding +1 to any unit you spawn. And I don't even remember what the item was called. All I know is it's literally a medal. On top of that, there's just a bunch of broken systems because you can upgrade items specifically with ammunition now, and basically what that does is now getting multiple of an item just means that you can put it to multiple units at the same time. It doesn't really give much benefit because as far as I could see, you can't sell it and you can't combine items together, which is kind of stupid. So basically, you're sitting there with all these items, and you can upgrade them to the max level, and you don't even need to combine multiple of the same item to get a better tier of that item. No, you just put more money into it. And by money, I mean munitions. And to even get that much, you have to be able to upgrade your base more. So I guess it kind of works out in some type of progression sense, but it really doesn't in the long run. Because in all honesty, anyone can go and just buy some more items from the shop and get a bunch of money to buy even better items. Now you might ask me, what do they do to attack cards? Well, let's just say they took a lot of inspiration from Boom Beats on this one. Attack cards can now be upgraded using munitions, secondary currency, and a tertiary currency. The secondary and tertiary currencies are both munitions only currencies. That's right, so you can go in the shop, go buy yourself some munition currencies, and upgrade munitions with them. So now the rocket deals more damage. The paratrooper thing drops more troopers, whatever you want to call it, because it does more of whatever it's doing for some reason. On top of that, they decided to make them completely free so you don't have to spend anything on commander abilities anymore. You're not losing cards. You don't have to worry about which one you're using because you gotta use it carefully. No, you don't. Not anymore because now we have a chance for Ultra here. I can't even describe how lucky this clip was. That was some RNG right there. Your resupply no longer gives you money. It gives you constant abilities instead of a chance to give you abilities. And on top of that, there's a bunch of other ruined systems to deal with this too. But basically, what people can do is go in the shop, pay to win, get the maximum tier of the ability, and wow, you can one-shot buildings with basic abilities. And we're not even going to be talking about defensive just yet. So, you may wonder what happened to some of the promised guns up elements and some of the other HQ cards that we haven't even mentioned very much. Now, HQ cards used to be put on your HQ, now turned into a completely different building in the new GunsUp Mobile called the Outpost. Your Outpost looks exactly like the HQ did in the original GunsUp game. However, it cannot defend itself, and its only use is a slightly tankier version of the tent. So for whatever reason, you're spending all of the resources in the game just to slightly upgrade a quote-unquote better tent, when in reality it's not much better. It's about the same exact speed. It just has a larger health buff. And HQ cards, well, there are none. There are 0 HQ upgrades. 0 outpost upgrades. There's nothing to give you better unit rates. You just choose one thing for it to constantly spawn, just like how the tents work in the original Guns Up. And for whatever reason, apparently that's what they thought was decent enough to switch from the old system. But basically, they completely ruined the defensive upgrades, and we're going to talk about that more. But how about promised guns up elements? Because you've probably seen this photo somewhere. This photo is not from Guns Up Mobile, no matter how much people wish it was. This was going to be an actual original Guns Up update until they decided to remove the game completely. And we're going to talk a little bit about that soon. But Guns Up was supposed to have a tank, artillery, and APC side upgrades for offensive attacks. These were supposed to be actual things to replace your original truck. Each had their own separate upgrade paths or uses too. But instead, they decided to move everything to Guns Up Mobile and completely scrap it. And with all these systems added, like in the new Guns Up where you can put a vehicle on the field on top of your truck that you already have spawning in units, you can probably already see one of the biggest problems about to come up in this game. If you added everything before here up, and there are no more base cards, no more base defense helpers, nothing. The biggest problem in GunsUp is its offense v defense. Designed to win, designed to lose. Either way. Both games have a completely different problem. GunsUp and Mobile both have their own unique quirks to it. However, the problem has completely inverted from the two games. In original GunsUp, it was very difficult attacking bases, even having to force you to attack one skull bases at some points, because you would get an insane amount of dog tags or trophies just by defending. And on top of that, here's some attacking footage. And you can see right here the old resupply system to compare to the new resupply system, which doesn't just randomly give you money, it constantly gives you extra abilities. So to clarify things initially, this footage came right after I took a very significant break from the game and it messed up with some attacking information. So right now this is technically a 3-star or 3-skull enemy base. Don't ask me why. However, GunsUp Mobile doesn't even let you pick the next base you attack technically. You can't pick between 1-star, 2-star, 3-star and get stuff that way. Instead, you just get a random opponent and it doesn't have the new or old scoring system. The new scoring system is just throwing you with a random person, just like in Clash of Clans, basically. Now, in GunsUp, the most notable thing about it is how difficult attacking was, and how a lot of times when attacking people, you didn't use up your abilities randomly. You had to think about it a lot because you knew that you weren't guaranteed to get any good ones at the beginning or get them by killing very many enemies, because the drop rate in the original GunsUp for these abilities was surprisingly low. Even in the resupply on the bottom left, you can see I'm getting money a majority of the time, and the chances of getting something like one of these abilities is pretty significantly low. And you can also see by killing enemies and buildings, I'm getting crates of money, and also these munitions are being used up quite a lot. Like, compared to the starting amount to how expensive all these units are, you can see that I'm not getting money very easily comparatively. However, I will have to say that abilities are much better in this game than they were in GunsUp Mobile. Ooh, one of our troops is actually about to be pop. No, medic wasn't able to get it to him in time. If troops have a chance to actually be saved even after death, which is a nice addition, but sadly one of our veterans, which was about to be a veteran, didn't get saved in time. We got another veteran out on the field though, which is really good for us. We got some rocket launchers in there, that ain't good. And our veteran took it like a champ just now. And our commando medal is going up a lot. Okay, that gave us more. That is a lot of cards. Attack us 3. I didn't even know we were doing that. Okay, that's pretty good actually then. So, to begin, as you could see, the HQ was actually defending itself from the enemy, and you could put units into it and specify attack wave types to defend it with. On top of that, it had bonus abilities built into it. Now, here's where the things get weird, because in GunsUp Mobile, there aren't these attack waves. It works just like the normal tent, and there aren't any defenders in it, even though it looks like a bunker still, that units should be able to shoot out of it. And right here, we're going to see some more difficult PvP. And this is the more notable part of the original GunsUp, is that PvP was very difficult. You had to think about how you use your abilities very specifically. And on top of that, the units you had were very costly, and getting money back was harder in Guns Up than Guns Up Mobile. So unlike Guns Up, where the currency is harder to re-get during a battle, in Guns Up Mobile, you constantly, every second, every tick, get a little bit of your energy back, because in Guns Up Mobile, you use energy and not munitions. On top of that, right here you're seeing you get 3 munitions per kill. In Guns Up Mobile, the number is significantly higher for every unit type. And on top of that, the energy you get back from killing a building is also significantly higher. And the buildings in Guns Up Mobile seem to be significantly weaker, whether it's just some problem with how they changed the aiming RNG or something else. The offensive player is just naturally better because all of their abilities have levels to them, and they can just upgrade them all the way up, making them better and better against whatever enemy they face. And you might think, hey, it has the same 3 skull system as the original game. It doesn't. It's literally a Clash of Clans system where you spend a little bit of gold to switch to the next base, and on top of that, it's even more like these other mobile games because you can preview what defenses the enemy has before even getting into the battle, so you can choose different stuff to go against their defenses. In Guns Up Original, you could only see as far as your troops got, well, as far as their vision is, because as you can see, if you're pushed back far in the beginning of the game, there's a limit to how far to the right you can go. But now, with the new addition of showing the entire base layout before you actually attack them, gives them the ability to see everything. There's also no limitations on this. So basically, there's nothing to use to hide where buildings are. The person attacking just gets to see that before the battle even starts. And on top of that, the vehicle system is absolutely overpowered in the new Guns Up Mobile because apparently there's no balancing put on them, or very little balancing, and they have all these significant abilities. Like, for example, the tank can armor pierce through walls and hit multiple targets behind them, including buildings, and the the system that it was built on in Guns Up is just basically completely removed. Now it's so much easier to just walk into an enemy base and attack it, get currency by attacking enemy bases. It's kind of unfair for the defender now. And in Guns Up Original, it was pretty unfair against the attacker because, number one, you only saw the numbers that you were walking into and the power level, but also there was some issues with the same new alterations that also changes what you can see going into the base, because in the original Guns Up you can see what upgrades they put on their units. Meanwhile, in the new Guns Up Mobile you can't see the unit upgrades. So I guess you could call it a trade-off if only the defenses on the defensive side were any good, because you can far outrange these people you're attacking in upgrades themselves, because you could be attacking someone at a much lower power level than you, or shall we say defensive power level, because apparently, unlike the original Guns Up, where your units are normally far weaker than the people you're attacking because your defense would earn you literally all of these dog tags you're seeing in my game is mostly because of me defending against people far above me. And that's why I'm being forced to attack people far above me. So normally I'd be going after 1 skull bases unless I find a significantly weak 3 skull one for some reason. And in Guns Up Mobile, the system is completely swapped, where you can go and attack someone way, way, way stronger and later in the game than you, technically, with better defenses, and still win a majority of the time. And if you attack someone equal to you, well, you're definitely going to win. That's kind of how it is in Guns Up Mobile. In Guns Up Original, if you attack I'm just gonna say you're most likely equal to a 2-star base. And if you attack a 2-star base, normally there would be a chance where you would lose significantly because some of these bases are surprisingly strong and able to deal with people far above them, which is why they get a significant amount of dog tags, which makes it so that they have to attack even stronger people, even though their units themselves might be significantly weak. The mixture of removing HQ cards with adding vehicles into the game, which absolutely destroy defenses and, as far as I've seen from footage, hardly ever die to normal defenders and only lose if you're either playing poorly or going against something far, 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 far stronger than you for some random RNG reason. But the new system in GunsUp Mobile is just built to make defense lose. Pretty good. So, oh, why did they have to? That was a smart maneuver on the enemy's part. Okay, enemy has some great AA. This might be worth it just taking out those two. Also, how did that guy not get killed by that absolute bombardment right there? And now he gets killed. Okay, finally we can take out these stupid sharpshooters. Been a thorn on my side. And a bunch of fun stuff happening, great. Okay, fall back for right now. Yeah, this base was a little much. And this is the best we can muster, which is not good. Okay, do this, because we just can't handle that. But this base was actually pretty well upgraded. I have a feeling that we have some stuff we gotta do once we get back to our base. And we gotta switch around some abilities because now I can see that healing ability really is helping, but not as much as I thought it would. For how much damage these guys do. Okay, get out a lot of units, and then like one valuable unit. And we're already... And I knew that was coming. But these sharpshooters are good. That's what's so annoying. I'm gonna try something that people have done before in a second. I've seen people do. Never mind. Fall back because we're gonna need to. We actually got a building with that. Okay, that's good. We can now pump out some units. Not that many units, but we got enough. It's all we need. Come on. Yes, we got one. Okay, finally, we have a little bit of a push coming back. Yeah, we are not making this in time. We did pretty good, though, figuring the fact that we couldn't get all the way back here in time. If we could only have taken out those, that would have made this so much easier. And that basically sums up the PvP problem switch between GunsUp and GunsUp Mobile. And now we're going into a completely separate problem that is significantly worse. GunsUp Normal was well known for its base defense AI wave game mode. Now, GunsUp Mobile has its own version of that. However, it costs in-game currency to play, as well as two new modes, one being zombies and the other one being a mode called Prison Break, that all feel like those weird mobile game ads that are very bad and are designed for you to lose. Which I would say that Prison Break and the Zombies modes are very strangely and poorly made, while Defense kind of acts like the AI waves from the original Guns Up game. However, mobile does it worse, where you have to pay an in-game currency to even play these modes, and this currency can only be gotten rarely or by paying gems to unlock it. I don't know why they did this weird game move, but apparently that was their great idea. I do want to clarify really quick that Guns Up, the original, did actually have two AI modes. One was an infinite wave where you had to defend for like 30 minutes plus against AI and had to get as many points as possible while your base doesn't fall. And if your base doesn't fall, I believe you did get a bonus at the end of it all. But it had a secondary mode, which was a random chance of a wave coming to your base to attack it. On top of that, I would also like to say that there were specifically AI bases that were copy and pasted versions of different bases in the original Guns Up. So for whatever reason, there were fake player bases that were actually put in there for players to fight. And they could have kept the game going independently technically by just getting a ton of different bases and base layouts and just making them scale to whoever's attacking them. Because they did have a significant amount of slight base variations that they can choose from. And there's a lot of stuff there specifically for newer players to go up against. GunsUp was killed. That fact is certain. People were offering all over the place to make their own servers, host their own servers. Maybe GunsUp can have a AI only mode so that they can keep on playing the single player stuff, changing their bases. There was a ton of talk about all this type of stuff. The reason they wouldn't do it is because GunsUp Mobile was already out by the time and before. GunsUp Mobile was already out before they announced that GunsUp was going to be killed. The reason why GunsUp was killed is because they were not seeing the normal mobile, fast-paced, money-grabbing schemes as they were on the original GunsUp game. When GunsUp Mobile was launched, GunsUp players, people playing the original GunsUp game, yeah, they saw it, they looked at it, and they were like, we don't want this. This doesn't look good. This doesn't have the same feel. It's pay to win. It feels like a mobile game. There's a time limit on everything, making you wait forever. There's a chess system from Clash Royale for whatever reason. What is all of this random stuff? No, we're going to go back to playing the original GunsUp. We want to play the original GunsUp. And when they tried doing that, that's when they decided to shut down GunsUp, because GunsUp was the better game. You can see it right here. There's no time limit on waiting to attack people and all this other stuff. You can just play the game and continue playing constantly if you really wanted to. And there was a lot of this whole card system left a lot of stuff open. Sure, there would be a point where you might run out of cards, but you could just buy more of them with the normal munitions if you really needed to. Heck, I didn't even buy any cards with the normal munitions. The only reason you see me using gold and having all this gold is because as a send-off, they gave everyone 50k in-game gold currency. And sure, I used it, yeah. Now, this send-off was a pretty decent one compared to some of these other games that are getting shut down and they're not giving you a ton of premium currency for it. And some of these games that they're shutting down right now are games that you paid money to even get. But still, a lot of people spent money on this game in the first place, and now they're randomly shutting it down with no secondary option except to play GunsUp Mobile. Why? So they can get everyone to move over to their brand new, higher pay-to-win game filled with more microtransactions than the original game, and they removed the ability for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation to play the game. Now, what you can play it on? Mobile devices. Now, apparently some people are playing it on emulator systems, and that's what I've heard of the PC stance, that there's some emulator for it, but I'm probably not going to be playing this game, to be honest. GunsUp Mobile is pretty far from the original GunsUp game. If I wanted to play a game like GunsUp Mobile, I would play Clash of Clans over it. They just ruined this game specifically because people liked it more than the new GunsUp Mobile game, because it was still getting people, because they were still making money off of it. That's why they killed it, because they were still not getting people to move over to their new game, the new game that they put a decent amount of marketing and stuff into. And then they took all the updates that were supposed to go to GunsUp, put it in GunsUp Mobile, like the vehicles. Those were originally supposed to be in GunsUp. Nope, we moved it all into the mobile. Mobile's going to be the next real GunsUp game. Well, it's nothing like the original GunsUp. It broke all of the systems switching over to the next game. It inverted the problem when it comes to PvP. And it made PvE a completely different system where you have to pay an in-game currency to even play it. I don't know why exactly they did this. They always could have went and continued original GunsUp And heck, maybe it made the original GunsUp more pay to win. Technically, they could have done that, but they didn't. I don't know why, but it's probably because now the new system with games is to make them like mobile games, give them battle passes, give chests in them, make people want to go gambling. You see the bright, flashy yellow thing and you want to get it. But now the game's dead. It's already too late. You can't get these systems back, and even if they were to release it, they probably wouldn't release the code. They probably wouldn't, to be honest. They probably wouldn't release the code, but if they were to, that would be cool. I bet somebody would make the servers again, but I doubt it. I doubt they would release anything. And it's all stupid, all back to the very beginning. It is stupid. But you know what? We're going to move on to a completely different point right after this. Because I want to clarify some things. And then we're going to go to the end of the video because why the heck did they do this? It makes no sense. Is GunsUp Mobile playable? The answer? Yes. Yes, it is playable. As playable as Clash of Clans, as playable as Clash Royale, as playable as Boom Beats. Yes, it is playable. You could probably free to play this game, yeah? I mean, apparently pay to win isn't that bad because the bases are so cheap and free to beat that you can basically beat anyone, including the pay to winners, because all the bases are upgraded on is gold, and the only thing that you could change is basically the unit style you put in the tents, and you could upgrade those units. But you can't put like a building or attack cards on defense. So yeah, it's playable. But it's just not Guns Up, okay? That's basically what I have to tell you. It's not Guns Up. Don't go into Guns Up Mobile thinking it's Guns Up. What do I think? I think Guns Up was a great game and that didn't deserve to die. And the reason it did die was because of a company that shut it down due to the fact that it's not using the same methods as normal pay to win games nowadays. They decided to move it off of devices like the PC, Xbox, and PlayStation so that they could have a larger base in the mobile industry and they weren't having enough people switch over to actually play their game from the original game because the original game was just better all around and even less pay to win than the new Guns Up mobile game. Didn't we get more reloads? I'm not mistaken, am I? Where did all of those... Are you kidding me? I believe I just got gypped. Okay, we got another one. Okay, apparently it wasn't that, but one of these. What is going on? Okay, we got way too many HQ squads. Funny glitzes aside, this game was a great game, and I wish more people got to play this version of the game, because it was so much better than in all the other versions. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.